storms are on the horizon, and we're talking playoffs. In order for Atlanta to get there, they have to win. Florida can clinch a first-round bye if they were to deny Atlanta that crucial victory. But it all happens here in the first ever Week 15 of Season 23. Hello, folks. Tyler Falk here with you on the call, alongside the Hall of Famer Eddie Gage, and the stat truck. It's Ron Hayes and Jacob Clare, and back in production, it's Mr. Cameron Irvine. Eddie, welcome to the booth. It's a special Sunday night SFL action.
The last week in SFL action regular season, Tyler, but before all that, SFL Nation, what up, though? Yo, I tried to talk to both these coaches. Mighty, as usual, kept it close to the vest, just said he looks forward to a competitive game. Meanwhile, on the Atlanta side, I talked to the GM, who was heavily involved with the coaching this week. He said, look for them to throw him some wrinkles to try to throw off this Florida passing attack with some blitzes from the outside.
Two veteran quarterbacks, both donning number 3, looking for a win, a crucial win here today, as here we go. The conclusion of this regular season starts now. And here comes the return from Fox Highwind. He tries to bring it up through the middle and is brought down at the 22-yard line. And so here comes the Atlanta signal caller, Bryant Dynasty, out onto the field, leading his troops for the first time today. Last week against Charleston, threw a touchdown, 2 picks, and that one is Atlanta was unable, I should say, to come away with a win. They lost narrowly by 3, and that sees them here having to win on the road here today. And that first pass from Dynasty is a good one, finding Siege Falco on the crossing route over the middle.
Over the middle is right, and Florida on the first play of the game come out in this dime defense, and they had 3 members of the secondary all lined up wide of the numbers. Not sure what that was, but we'll see how it plays out as this game goes along.
Immediately on the front, being aggressive to begin the ball game. BDG Hollywood and Mitchell O'Brien are the 2 tailbacks. Fox Highwood, Siege Falco, and Booches in the wideouts. As one of the tailbacks, that being BDG, gets the first carry of the ball game. He gets 6 yards on the outside. Why not Arlette, Astro Smith, Carter Hollywood, and Sam Fulker on the line, with Arlette being the lone tight end. Have a look now after 2 spread options here for Dynasty. They'll go back to the ground for the second straight play. Nothing doing. Hacking down for right behind the line of scrimmage was Jonathan Reese. Had nowhere to go, and that brings up 3rd down.
The left tackle for Atlanta got pushed back in the backfield, left it with nowhere to go. Carter Hollywood got to get in the weight room.
3 wide here on 3rd down. Dynasty will look to pass, scanning, looking over the middle, and it's tipped and picked. Going back the other way for the Storm is Ryan Davidson, forcing the first takeaway of the game.
Wow, I mean, Atlanta said they would get aggressive, and the first thing that came to my mind is seeking you shall find, because Florida loves that game. They want to get these teams in these 2nd and 3rd and long passing situations. They look for it. Their main mission on 1st down has always been to stop the run. But after that, once they get you in 2nd and 3rd and long, they can get dicey for you.
It looks like the pass may have been slightly underthrown. Davidson with the acrobatics to not only get the first deflection on it, but to haul in his own deflection, sets up the Storm offense in great field position for their first drive of the game. Just inside their own 35. 2 tight end look, pitch out in their other direction. Here comes Art Vandelay on a wide receiver pitch for 6 yards to begin the game. And let's introduce you to the rest of the Storm offense. Bullet Valetsky and Chris Komisak are the traditional tailbacks, with Stephen Bush, Caleb Giffis, Art Vandelay, and Bobby Tarantino at wideout. Ron Hayes is the lone tight end today, with Nate LeMay inactive. Randy Fatt III, Joseph Wade, and Greg McDonaldson are all on the line. Blitz coming, another pitch here for Vandelay, and he gets only back up to the original line of scrimmage. Great pursuit there from Jay Miraculous, the corner.
And Florida spreads the ball around as much as any team in the SFL. You will see Vandelay, the wide receiver, running the ball, as well as Chris Komisek and Bullet Valetsky.
The aforementioned Bullet checks into the game for the first time today. He will get a call here on 3rd down. Great blocking on the outside, and Valetsky picks up the first down.
Perhaps Atlanta on 3rd and 4, 3rd and long 4, that is, Tyler, was not anticipating them to run the ball on 3rd and long.
Joseph Wade, the right guard, able to get out there to set the edge for Beletsky as Cochran will throw. Pressure coming. They set the house, and they get Teron Cochran for the first time today. It's Chris Henry.
Chris Henry with the sack. That's actually his first sack on the season. Allowed up in a Bear defense and bring him along with the outside linebacker on the other side. 6 coming, not much time, and the clock ran out on Ron.
Chris Henry's first sack of the season, 3rd only in his 9th season. 9 seasons of play. And now Florida is set backward 5 yards. And Cochran will look to throw. Now steps up and tucks it and tries to barrel through a tackle. He picks up 3 yards, and E.J. Henderson was there with the stop.
Ron Cochran must have thought he was a tailback because his quarterback is on the sideline screaming for him to slide, but he went head first and picked up a few.
A lot of non-traditional runs here, Eddie, to begin the ball game here for Florida. Now 3rd and long. Atlanta's defense shifting over, playing more man coverage on those bunch set of receivers. Blitz coming, Cochran middle, tipped, incomplete pass. Florida are unable to connect with Stephen Bush, and they're unable to get points on the takeaway.
Took the words right out of my mouth. Got a turnover on that first possession for Atlanta. Now they find themselves punting it right back to Atlanta. No harm, no foul.
And so back to punt will be Marcus Agrippa, one of the best punters this league has seen. And it's a good one. Going to try and bid him back all the way inside their own 15 is where Falco starts his return. He gets a gain of 7 up to the 22.
Bryant Dynasty coming into this game, #1 in the SFL, averaging 8.5 yards per attempt. Not completion, Tyler, per attempt. That is 1st in the SFL.
He loves to find his wide receivers. Now, in seasons past, they've traditionally had more here, Eddie, but the 3 traditional receivers they've got here, Highwind, Falcon, and Chisholm, all make for an exciting trio of wideouts. And that pass, looking for one of them on the stop route from Fox Highwind, bottled up rather nicely by this Florida defense.
Bottled up nicely, Tyler, but I thought that was pass interference. I mean, I'm a defensive guy, so I'm all for being physical, but that was a bit excessive.
See what they come out here on 2nd down. Look at all the DBs. It looks like they're doubling up on the outside.
They're bringing a blitz.
There'll be 5 DBs on 4 wide receivers on the far side of your picture. It is a blitz. Dynasty, right side, looking for Highwind on back-to-back plays. Can't haul it in again. Excellent coverage from Evan Carroll.
Great coverage. That was a bang-bang play. Evan, man, I tell you, they put a lot of trust in him because that was like a cover 0, and should he manage to catch that ball and break free, it's a house call.
You've got to have the speed from your DBs to maintain that level of security. Another blitz coming. Dynasty goes down. How about that? Both defenses trading sacks, and Atlanta will punt.
Back-to-back situations for Atlanta that does not go well for them. The first one's a turnover. This one ends with Dynasty flat on his back. Like Cameron Duty likes to say, he was obliterated, Tyler.
Deontay Stoneville, the Florida defense's leader in sacks, now with 6 this season. And here comes the return from Florida's return man up to maybe the 44-yard line and no further. Let's take you inside the huddle here for Atlanta, introduce you to their defense. Wolf Highwind and Alex Dominguez, the former Storm, are on the defensive line with Bernard Smith, Jeff Spicoli, and Aquantis Shine, the linebackers. Nathan Barnett and Jay Miraculous are the corners with Chris Henry, Moose Papanow, and Grant Hardaway at safety. Play of this drive will be a pass from Cochran looking left side, caught by Ron Haynes. Mr. Double Duty, stats and tight end, 10 yards, first down.
Don't forget, he's also the Monday Night Spectacular extraordinaire when it comes to graphics and video presentation. He does it all.
A very crucial member of this Florida Storm locker room, and he shows you why there. Ron, you got to tell me, because I know Ron personally. Ron, did you take ballerina classes or something? Is that what you're doing right there? Nice little pirouette. That was pretty. 1st and 10 as Florida immediately flipped the field on their first play of this drive. Pitch play near side. Vandalay on the pitch. He tries to spin out of the tackle and cannot. Nathan Barnett there with the sure hands, but it is another Florida first down.
One of the advantages about lining a wide receiver up in the backfield is these linebackers are not accustomed to the speed and the foot quickness of these receivers, able to bounce outside at that rate.
One thing that Florida has predicated and has been on full display already today, Eddie, is their commitment to getting good blocks on the outside. The offensive line, again, with a good push. Let's see what they do here. Blitz coming. Cochran out of one. Can't escape the second. He is down again, and it's a Qantas Shine, the outside linebacker.
A Qantas Shine, it was Grandpa Shine, they like to call him over there on the Monday night show, coming in to clean up the mess that Henry could not get. He coming to this game tied the second all-time leading tackler behind yours truly.
And he shows you why there. He is always sniffing out and looking to get to the ball carrier on each and every play. And here comes a big blitz. Cochran looking left side. Step for step is Barnett, who just lets it hit off his shoulder pads, incomplete.
I guess that's one of the plays that Atlanta was talking about pregame, because I haven't seen him run that this season. And they brought him from the outside, and thankfully, the cornerback over there put a lot of trust in him, and he delivered.
3rd and long here for the Storm. Florida has done pretty well on 3rd down conversions, converting on over 50% each game. Cochran rolling, having a fire, and he couldn't find his intended target over the middle, looking for Vandalay. And this hungry and aggressive Atlanta defense foils Cochran again.
They did it again, Tyler. They bringing heat off the edge, and I tell you what, they better get consistent pass rush over there, because if they don't, Ron Cochran, he has the experience to stand in a pocket, keep his head on a swivel, and get the ball downfield.
And so that crucial Qantas Shine sack knocks him out of field goal range.
Great
punt.
A
Beautiful punt from Agrippa. That'll pin Atlanta inside their own 15-yard line. They'll mark it officially at the 11. As Atlanta's offense goes to work, we'll introduce you now quickly to the Storm defense. Deontay Stoneville, Alessandro Tamayo, Pete Mitchell, and Dallas Knowles are the defensive linemen. Jesus Smith, Juan Mississippi, and Ryan Tobin are the linebackers. Ryan Davidson, Evan Carroll, Adam Jones are the corners. And Dynasty takes off and runs. Gets enough for a good chunky yards, make it 5 all told. And quickly, Andrew Francis, J.J. Bailey, and Daniel Wright are the safeties, but Dynasty's been known to just tuck it and run, and he has a pretty good rate of success for that, Eddie.
Yes, they did. This time it was Florida's turn to bring that heat off the edge.
Now they'll back in 2 tight ends and 2 tailbacks. They try and go to the ground for more traditionally. Nothing doing for BDG. He is gobbled up in the backfield, losing a few yards.
Tyler, BDG is averaging 3 yards per carry. He is a Hall of Fame tailback. For whatever reason, they have not been able to get him going this season.
Maybe it's the defense is keying into him. We'll keep an eye on that throughout the game. Dynasty, quick hitter, middle, incomplete. Just too much gusto on that throw. And it's a quick 3 and out for Atlanta.
And Florida's going to get great field position, too.
Now we know Ken Miller, the undrafted rookie this season, might not be at the same level as Agrippa, but he's pretty decent in his own right. We'll see what he can do. That one's away. Here comes the return. All the way back to midfield goes the return man, Bobby Tarantino. And that is where Florida will take over. These defenses so far, Eddie, keeping this game scoreless, and they've done an excellent job so far.
Yeah, they have. I mean, Atlanta's coming out, throwing out wrinkles and We've seen Art Vanderlei throw in wrinkles here and there all season long, so it's refreshing to see. I love to see teams get aggressive on defense.
Florida's 2 drives have both ended in punts. We'll see if their fortunes change. Here's they start on just inside Atlanta territory. Handoff middle, Vanderlei gets out of 1 and will fall forward for a gain of 8.
Keeping Vanderlei running on the outside, that's healthy for him as a wide receiver. You don't sure just how much punishment he can take if he runs up the A gap. So I think it's smart for him to keep him outside.
With Pritchett and LeGee there on the inside, the defensive interior, those big hog mollies up front. Gonna take a few more of those shots. Goal line eye. Here for Rod Cochran. Another run, right side. This time, it's a good run for Chris Komisak as he picks up the first down.
Chris Komisak came into this game with 5 touchdowns. That's 4 more than the former MVP, Bullet Bolesky, on the season, who's taking a diminished role this season.
Cochran has to get rid of it quickly. Wide open is Stephen Bush, left alone. Atlanta got aggressive, and Cochran was quick to his feet this time. First down.
Live by the blitz, die by the blitz, as Jacob said earlier. I mean, it's one thing to be effective blitzing, but you got to have some variations to your defense because you keep this up at this rate. You see in the corner back there, he's playing a cover 3 shell with the blitz underneath, so he doesn't have help behind him, so he had to stay back and keep everything in front of him, and that's the result when that passes out of his hands quickly.
Now from the 22-yard line. So far gone 28 yards on this drive alone, and possibly looking at points here. Another blitz. Cochran looking for a screen to Boletsky, and that is taken away by Jeff Spicoli. Gets to the backfield for a 3-yard tackle behind the line.
Looks like Atlanta may have done their homework because Bullet Bolesky in this passing, this running game, they aren't just used to run the ball. They lead the team in receptions out of the backfield, Tyler.
Second and long, blitz coming. Cochran finds Bush over Barnett's shoulder. Easy touchdown for Caleb Giffis, and Florida strike first.
Got a blitz, no safety help. They're running an arrow route, easy pitch and catch as long as Ron has time.
So much. We see Bush get those nice little go routes. Instead, it's a 25-yard touchdown reception for the Minnesota man, Caleb Giffis. And Florida's up by 6 to begin the ball game. It took us a little over 9 minutes, but we finally get our first score of the game. Snap spot, and the extra point is up and good from Ethan Sneed, and it's good. 5 plays, 49-yard drives officially, and Florida's on the board for 7-0.
Yeah, Atlanta's going to be up against it, Tyler. Coming into this game, Florida has 21 losses on the season at home in 16 seasons. That's less losses than some teams that Tyler has in the past 2 seasons.
Now, Atlanta does have precedent for winning here in Fort Lauderdale, but that last win came all the way back in season 20 when they beat Florida 37-27. But right now, they're going to need to continue to be aggressive here on offense because they know what's at stake.
Absolutely.
Let's set near side for Dynasty. As Falco goes in motion, not even a flinch from this Florida defense. Dynasty rolling out to his right, firing across his body, picked! Beautifully read on the underneath route as J.J. Bailey, the strong safety, hauls it in Florida territory, in Atlanta territory.
That's the second time they dialed up this play, and both times the Florida defense came out in the same formation, same set, dialed up the same play. And they've seen it before. This time they stayed disciplined, picked up the interception, and right now they are already in field goal range, but they're looking to put up another 6 points. Here comes the blitz again.
They're lining up in this bear set once more.
Bring in 6, Tyler.
And only just a few seconds ago, Eddie, this is right around where they scored a Caleb Giffis touchdown. Said they will run with Vandalay, or Boletsky's for one of his very few carries tonight. Gains a couple of yards.
Yeah, that time, Ron decided to hand the ball off. Looked like he even caught an audible. Decided to check it down.
3 attempted carries for Cochran, losing 9 yards. 2 carries for Boletsky with 7. Art Vandalay with 25 yards. Boletsky here on second down with a nice stiff arm, but quickly taken down shortly after. And that'll bring up third down.
3rd and long, and if Atlanta's going to remain in this game, they got to find a way to limit Florida to 3.
Well, here's the thing here, Eddie. Florida have only converted on 1 third down. We'll see if they can convert here for only their 4th third down attempt of the game as it's 7-0. Storm out in front. And here we go with the second quarter of play from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. I'm Tyler Falk alongside Eddie Gage here in the broadcast booth. Welcome to the final week of the regular season. Atlanta must win if they want to make sure they're in the playoffs. A loss does not automatically eliminate them as Cochran takes off and runs, slides, but is denied a first down by just a yard.
By just a yard. And Atlanta, Tyler, looking up to the building, brought the blitz yet again, and this time they managed to get Florida off the field, going to force a field goal attempt here.
So here comes Ethan Sneed. He'll attempt a field goal 35 yards out. Snap spot, it's being pushed, and it sneaks inside for a field goal, and that will add on to the lead. It's now 10-0 here for Florida. Sneed, 23 now of 24 on the season.
That was just inside the upright. Tyler, I thought that was going to fly wide left.
I think it was going that way. There are storms in the area here in Fort Lauderdale at the time of kickoff. And so maybe some prevailing winds wrecking havoc with the football as Atlanta, it's a little bit of return from Muhammad up to the 29-yard line. Atlanta's last drive, you blink and miss it. It was a 1-play interception. Now Dynasty has to trot his troops out back onto the field and find a way back into this game. Already in the second quarter, down by 10.
Man, defense.
Outside blitz coming, and they guessed right on the BDG Hollywood stretch play. No gain.
No gain, and for whatever reason, all season long, the success of Atlanta's offense has come from Brian Dynasty's arm. Same defense.
Roll out here for Dynasty. Fire across his body. Caught for only the second completion of the game, finding Boo Chisholm.
And on that play, Brian Dynasty looks like type attack looked yesterday against Minnesota's vaunted defense, throwing across his body all the way to the other side of the field, Tyler. I don't think people realize how long of a throw that is, and yet and still he finds time to get it to Boo.
That brings up first down with a bunch set for Dynasty. Looking underneath, finds Falco on the catch and run. Up the sideline he goes, all the way down to getting a bunch of yards near the Florida 35.
Looks like a game of about maybe 15 yards or so, and Bryant only threw that ball about 3 yards vertically downfield, but yet and still, Siege was able to get the most out of that opportunity and pick up a first down.
Officially a gain of 17 for Falco. Under 8.5 to go now here in this second quarter. The linebacker showing blitz, and here he comes.
Here he comes.
Dynasty again looking left side. Nothing doing this time. Trying to make the catch was Danny Farmer.
Art Vanderlei, week after week, shows you something different. I tend to watch a lot of Florida games, trying to learn from how various coaches think and what makes their brain tick and how. And Art Vanderlei continues to press the needle and find different ways to attack the quarterback.
Same looking formation. Dynasty pumps once. Down he goes. Saying hello for the second time today is Stoneville.
Stoneville keeping the pressure on. I like that lane discipline by Florida. They did not leave Bryant with an alley to try to maybe perhaps run through. They stayed wide, stayed within their assigned gaps and picked up the sack.
Pretty good stat line, 2 quarters, 2 tackles, 2 sacks for Deontay Stoneville as Dynasty unloads. Wow. Caught one-handed. Boo! Chisholm, first down.
Looking toward the Hall of Fame anytime it's 3rd and forever. Not a bad decision to go to. He's seen it all, seen all various types of coverages and being assigned press, man, zone. It doesn't matter. Boo has seen it all, and there he helps out his quarterback by extending his body to make the play.
Brilliant catch from Chisholm as it keeps the drive alive for Atlanta. Their first 3rd down conversion of the game. Dynasty double covered receiver on the outside was Fox Highwind, and Dynasty, give him credit, is trying to get Highwind involved, but this Florida defense is keyed in on him. He's
trying, but he needs to look elsewhere because he had a corner, a safety. I'm not sure if that was a slot corner, whoever that was over there, but he had 3 men blanketed on him.
4 targets, no receptions at the moment for Fox. As it's 2nd and 10 from the 23. Dynasty under pressure. It's Stoneville again! 2nd sack of the drive, 3rd of the game.
Florida with the trifecta right now, getting all kinds of heat on Bryant Dynasty. And should Atlanta go on and compete in this ball game, they got to get Bryant more protection.
Look at just the ability. Stoneville hurdles a downed lineman and gets the sack. It might not be a breakaway play of the game, but I'm calling it as such. As our breakaway play of the game is brought to you by Breaks GPT, sports memorabilia breakers, and collectors. You never know whose autographed helmet or jersey you might hit. Check them out at breaksgpt.com. 3rd and 15 here for Dynasty. Get rid of it quick. Caught, breaking a tackle, and a 17-yard completion for why not Arlette.
And why not indeed, Tyler, because he threw the ball before Arlette even got open. Watch this on a replay. He runs a fade route. The defender is right there in his face. I'm not sure how that was not picked off because he had a bead on it, but somehow completes it to why not. And they pick up a big 1st down and give him 1st and goal.
The heart, the tenacity, the grit to stay in it. And to keep the drive moving. 1st and goal down here for the Swarm. They'll now load up with wide receivers on the left side with Dynasty. 5-man rush, Dynasty middle, tip, oh, Highwind! Couldn't haul in the deflection.
You're right. Ball bounces off Boo, off the deflection, and if Highwind is paying attention, that's going to be the easiest touchdown he's ever brought in.
I mean, he wasn't even targeted at that point. He would have gotten credit for a touchdown on a non-target. Instead, 2nd and goal. Dynasty in the gun.
Let's spread first time.
Very rarely we get to see gun here, and it will be a pitch near side, and they're trying to get BDG on the ground. Nothing doing as another stalwart of the Storm defense, Andrew Francis, gets it into the backfield.
Mitch O'Brien playing his last regular season game for the Falcons, for the Atlanta Swarm, trying to extend their season, but he did not give his running back a good block there.
It's coming, pass middle, oh, Chisholm had it, and the hit jars the ball free by Daniel Wright, 4th down.
90% of a play is determined at the line of scrimmage, and at that time, Boo got bumped and was unable to recover and get downfield. Otherwise, that's a touchdown.
And so out comes Sammy Steele, the kicker for Atlanta, for a 27-yard attempt. Made one from 50, this one from about half distance. He's a perfect 22 of 22 on the season. That one is up, and that one swings inside. It's good. It's his perfect season continues here, and they get on the board. It's now back to within a touchdown. It's 10-7 in favor of the Storm.
That was a 13-play drive, Tyler. It sure didn't feel like it.
Oh, it was very, very quick in terms of We had a lot of stuff to talk about. It's a very explosive drive, both in terms of great defensive plays and eventually the offense getting their way on third down. 2 crucial third down conversions, Eddie. And now here comes Florida's offense.
Florida back on the move, and hopefully, while Atlanta's defense was on the sidelines, the coaches got with them and said, hey, we need to diversify our defensive game plan. I don't mind the blitzing, but we need to show them some different looks as well.
There's one thing going for this Atlanta defense. They have held Florida to a maximum drive length of 6 plays. So they're really trying to keep their offense off the field, and it's plays like that getting through into the backfield. Chris Henry again.
And I think that was Alex Dominguez. Excuse me, not Alex Dominguez. I couldn't get his number. I'm sorry. But it looks like that might have been Alex. Now I'm looking at the replay. He got dispatched and moved the center back, and left him nowhere to go.
No love lost from this Florida offense against their former defensive teammate. Trying to stretch it with Boletsky. Tries to shimmy out of the way of Chris Kovasak. Ends up getting thrown down after a gain of 5.
3rd down and 5. This is a good situation for Atlanta to be in because they're going to leave Florida here one-dimensional with a chance to get off the field.
Florida only 1 of 5 on 3rd downs. We'll see what happens here. Cochran having to get rid of it. Middle. Caught near the 50-yard line. Art Vandelay moves the chains for the Storm.
Florida came into this game completing just over 52% of their 3rd down attempts. That's 11th in the SFL, and looking to improve upon that today.
Right now, besides that last play, they really haven't been able to. Right now, sitting at 33%, now 2 of 6, and it keeps this drive going against a very talented Atlanta defense, which again, they pile in 8 defenders into that defensive box, Eddie, and it's meant to stop the run.
Yeah, and Alex, I was looking at him again there. He is determined to make his old teammates pay for letting him go.
Wants to get some grass onto Cochran's jersey. He's been pretty clean for the most part. 2 sacks, however, already forced by this swarm defense. Can they get to him again? Another heavy blitz coming. Yes, they do! Hello, Jeff Spicoli, alongside his partner in crime, Wolf Highwind.
Yeah, they're bringing pressure from all over the place. This time they come out and they look like a fan defense that time, in which they pretty much spread out, trying to leave Ron with nowhere to run the ball to should he need to try to escape. But, wow, I mean, before the receivers get out of their break good, Ron was under pressure.
3rd and long for the Swarm again. It seems like both teams have been forced into 3rd and long plays. Pass middle, Bush is there, but thrown down by Henderson after a good chunk. 9 yards, needed 13. And that'll bring up 4th down and another punt.
Smart defense there by Atlanta. They know it's 3rd and forever. Allow the receiver to collect the ball on a reception and tackle him well before the line of scrimmage to force the punt.
Agrippa gets this one away. Fair catch called for inside the 20-yard line by Falco. That'll be hauled in safely at the 19. The SFL convention is headed to Baltimore for the 2025 convention, kicking off the league's 25th anniversary season, July 10th through the 14th. Join SFL Nation at the rooftop pool of our host hotel, the Hyatt Regency, looking out into Baltimore's Inner Harbor, and revel in the league's first convention on the East Coast. You can reserve your room now at the special group rate at simfl.net as Bryant Dynasty throws over the middle, but some great defense, great awareness from Dallas Knowles, getting both his paws up there and knocking that pass aside.
That's a big man jumping into the face of Bryant Dynasty, and I'm not sure how, as a quarterback, you don't have career decision regrets when you see a big man like that in your face.
I'll say something here, for a big man, he got up pretty high. He's been working on his vertical, it seems like, in the gym, as he goes on a stunt now as Dynasty looking left side. There's going to be Laundry. They went in the direction of Highwind again, but this time it's a little bit too much hands. And it's going to be pass interference on Ryan Davidson.
Yeah, Ryan wasn't even looking at the football. He's got his back trying to pretty much face guard like they do in basketball, so to speak, and didn't allow Fox to turn around to the ball. But I tell you what, Bryant forced that one in there. He had a clean pocket all day to throw. You either got to take off or throw that somewhere else.
Dynasty saw Davidson just watching, just bull watching, not really paying attention to where Iwind was running. And that's how we end up with the penalty. And Atlanta now all the way up to around their 38-yard line. Dynasty will look to pass, floats underneath for Falco. And the play where it went for number 17 a few drives ago, it falls incomplete here.
I don't know how Art does it, but all season long I've been studying this team, and he seems to get his third and long defense to dial up the plays when he wants them every time.
Empty backfield now here for Bryant Dynasty. Florida come out, a dime look. It's coming. Oh. Dynasty. Oh, have a day. Deontay Stoneville. 4 sacks in this first half.
And as soon as he got up, he looked up, checked to see if Cam, the SFL commissioner, was in the owner's box along with the owner of the Florida Storm, Mighty, and said, hey, make sure you send that check to my office immediately because I just got paid some incentive money.
How about that? On pace for 8 sacks in a game. Dynasty middle, incomplete, looking for Falco. J.J. Bailey was there in coverage, and the Swarm will have to punt.
5 men lined up on the line of scrimmage for Atlanta. 5 wide receivers eligible to make a play. They spread Florida's defense out, and there was no one open downfield.
And so Kevin Miller back to punt once again. We have seen him quite often tonight already. This is third punt of the game as on the return, gaining a few yards, is Tarantino up to the 27-yard line. So Florida will have 2 minutes and some change, or just exactly, maybe a little under 2 minutes as we hit the 2-minute warning. Here from Fort Lauderdale in the eye, it's 10-3 Storm.
Clouds in the area, Tyler.
Yeah, storms are brewing, and maybe it's in celebration of a potential Storm victory, which could see them in the playoffs with a first-round bye. Here's Vandalay on the give up the middle. He'll take it all the way up for 7 yards.
The center for Florida did a great job getting to the second level and knocking the linebacker right out of there. Didn't give him a chance. I'm not even going to call out his name because he cleaned him out and pushed him back about 3 yards. Two-yard run. The play is going to set up a third down and about a legit 1 yard for Florida. Like an I-wing Joker's got a wide receiver lined up to the near side of the screen. Ron's going to hand this ball off to the running back, and he picks up the first down. Chris Comasat picks up about 6. Just under a minute left in this first half. Florida at the 40-yard line. Let's see how aggressive they get here. Twin set. Ron Haynes lined up at tight end on the left side. They're going to dump the ball off into the flat. Bolesky catches it, but only picks up a yard. Second down and 9. 35 seconds left in this first half.
Thank you, Eddie, for covering. Maybe it's those storms that briefly knocked out my connection here in the broadcast booth, but here we are, under 30 seconds to go. Storm playing, they're doing okay. They're just trying to march down the football field. Under 20 seconds to go. No real hurry up here at the moment as Bolesky gets the call right side, and this will probably take us to the end of the half here, Eddie. 10-3, a low-scoring affair, and Atlanta's still well within this one if they can get their offense going. But for the moment, it is 10-3, Florida over Atlanta. Eddie, walk us through that first half. Thanks for covering again. You sound like you had a good time doing that.
I'm a natural at this, man. You give me the opportunity, Tyler. I can do it all. They just call me Mr. Handyman. I can do it all. But this first half, Atlanta came out aggressive on offense and defense, throwing the ball vertically downfield, not checking the ball off. They're just trying to get things done. You can tell they're not getting paid by the hour, and Bryant's living up to that billing of being a vertical passer. But he paid for it, Tyler. Threw an interception and set up Florida's touchdown. Florida up 10-3 here in this first half, and I tell you what, if Atlanta's going to get back into this ball game, they're going to have to find a way to maybe dial down the blitzing a little bit, be a bit more diversified on on defense, have to in some man looks or some zones, some underneath covers, things of that nature, and not give Ron an opportunity to just read and dissect what he sees on the field.
Florida will get the opening statement of the second half when we return. For now, we take a break, presented by Brakes GPT.
We just pulled a full-size Taylor Swift helmet. Shout out to all our Swifties. Travis Kelce. This is a Giants Lawrence Taylor.
Patrick Mahomes.
Chad Johnson with the Ocho Cinco.
We have a Drew Brees.
Is that an O.J. Simpson jersey?
It's an Aaron Rodgers.
Oh my goodness.
Tom Brady! Tom Brady!
Break into the world of sports memorabilia collecting with Brakes GPT, featuring signed football jerseys, helmets, photos, and more. Brakes GPT offers you the shot at winning autographed and authenticated sports memorabilia at a fraction of the price. Join the community of collectors on our Brakes GPT Facebook page and lock in your shot at hitting a humongous headliner on our site, brakesgpt.com. As we welcome you back to the Eye here in Fort Lauderdale. It's a low-scoring affair here in the final week of the regular season, 10-3 in favor of Florida, and those stats tell you a good portion of the story.
Bryant Dynasty, 7.8 QBR at halftime. Ron Cochran, 127.5, but Atlanta is only down a single score.
They're holding Atlanta under 10 yards on the ground, while trying to keep up this impressive rushing attack that's seen them already eclipse 70.
Tough sledding anytime you become a one-dimensional offense, Tyler.
Florida just been able to take advantage. That's why they have this 7-point lead. Take a look here for Atlanta on second down, as Cochran will look to fire out of the backfield, looking for a good run from his tailback on the go. It's Aveon Carson for a first down.
And that's unfortunate because Atlanta actually read that screen pretty well, got over there quickly, but unfortunately was unable to bring the backup running back Kaysen down. He picks up a first.
Good start to the drive here from Florida. We'll see what they can dial up here to continue it.
Key zone.
Rolling is Cochran. Now firing into traffic. Stephen Bush hauls it in. Great throw from Cochran. First down, Storm.
Nathan Barnett, my dad always told me, scared money doesn't make money. And he's sitting there watching the ball come out of Ron Cochran's hand and directly toward him. All he has to do is make a play on the ball, and that's an easy interception. But instead, he plays it safe, waits for the receiver to catch the ball before tackling him.
This drive quickly marching down the field. A 22-yard reception for Bush as Boletsky gets good blocking all the way through the line. How Ron Haynes was blocking. Bobby Tarantino was blocking. It's an 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, and Bullock also, he's coming to this game averaging 3.2 yards a carry, and as a result, Florida's offense hasn't been what it's been in seasons past. If they can get him going, this offense can be prolific.
Defensive line spreads. We're seeing a lot less of this Bear defense from Atlanta. Now more going into some more traditional 4-3, 4-2 looks. Ron Tomasak trying to bully defenders for extra yards. He'll pick up roughly 5 and move the sticks.
That was still a 4-4 Bear defense that time, Tyler, but this time they kind of played a soft coverage, and Ron read it and just ran it and picked up the first down. Bear again.
Set. Blitz from the outside, looking middle. Vandalay is there. He rolls through the tackle inside the 20-yard line, and this drive is firing in all cylinders.
Yes, they are. The offensive line is picking up the blitz. The running back has stayed in to help Chip and left Ron all the time he needed to find his receiver, Art Vanderlei.
3 passes for Ron Cochran on this drive. 3 completions. He has not missed a completion ever since the middle point of this first quarter. Handoff left side for Bullitt. Unable to gain any yards. Aquinas shines there on the stop.
Aquinas about tired of all this nonsense trying to put it into this drive, but he's going to need some help from his teammates if they're going to get off the field.
Defensive line spread again. I formation behind Cochran. Handoff through the middle. Comisac with the give. Shine with the takedown. 7 yards for the fullback.
And right now, Florida's doing a great job of being diversified. They're doing a great job of running Comisac inside and outside, throwing in some occasional short passes downfield, just keeping Atlanta guessing.
Cochran will look to pass here on third down, looking middle, and the streak of 9 consecutive completions looking for Ron Haynes is broken, and this Atlanta defense holds strong in the red zone.
Holds strong and finds a way to get Florida off the field. Gonna limit him to a 3-point field goal attempt, but nonetheless, great effort there.
So, out comes Ethan Sneed. Try and hit from 27 yards.
Left-footed kicker.
We call southpaw in the business, and that one will also swing inside. That one's up and good. 13-3 in favor of the hometown Florida Storm. As with this regular season winding down, the 23rd edition of the SFL playoffs will hit the field Saturday, October 26th, and Sunday, October 27th, with a pair of doubleheaders at 6:30 and 9 p.m. Eastern. Catch all the action here on SFL YouTube. Get your first look at the postseason matchups tomorrow night on the Monday Night Spectacular post-game show with Chris Curtis and yours truly, Tyler Falk.
First down and 10, first drive for Atlanta here in the second half. Let's see what kind of adjustments they may have made to try to put some points on the board.
Eddie, I don't know about you, but I think Atlanta has to make a statement here, a statement of intent to get back in this game. Otherwise, it seems like Florida might be able to run all over them. And BDG, a little shifty to the inside, picks up 4 yards.
And that's a great way to get it started, Tyler, getting this running game going to get Florida to back off a little bit of the pressure they're getting on Bryant.
Keep them honest. Keep them guessing. Don't be one-dimensional. Force your way down the field with some good cohesive runs. Another run. This time, it is Reese who goes nowhere.
Juan, Mississippi on the tackle, former Denver Nightwing.
He's a tenacious tackler. When he was over in Denver and here in Florida, it's why they brought him over here. He is one of the most sure tacklers in this league today. Under 5.5 to go. Dynasty will roll here on third down across his body and off the hands of the intended receiver. And Atlanta goes 3 and out.
That's unfortunate because it looks like they had, I couldn't tell if that was, I think it was Seed across the middle who was open, but Dynasty didn't look his way.
4th punt of the game now for Ken Miller. He stands around his 9-yard line. Tarantino back deep to return. It's a high spiraling punt for Miller. And Tarantino only up to the 47-yard line.
Great field position.
And it should be. Last time they were in this field position, Eddie, they went all the way down to the field, kicked a field goal. Last time they started on, close to the midfield, and since then, they really only they've only had 1 drive, which went coast to coast. Other times, it's been very short drives. Last drive for Florida was their longest with 9 plays. Before that, they've only managed to get to 6 plays. On to the left side for Vandelay. He tries to squeeze through Barnett and picks up 9.
Someone tell Art he is not a fullback, but he fought off about 2 or 3 tackles and picks up 9 yards. That does not look like a wide receiver running the ball out of the backfield, Tyler.
He's playing like a fullback. Maybe they ought to switch him over there because he's done a very good job tonight. And credit to this offensive line again for the blocking. We'll try and do it again, this time with Komisak in the backfield. He has a lot of room to run up to the 35-yard line. Great. Just case in point there, Eddie.
Yeah, Chris Komisak, big bruising fullback coming out of the backfield, Tyler. 6'4", 240 pounds. Imagine that coming at you. You got to tackle him. No, thank you.
And how about Wade again? Getting out to the outside. We were highlighting him there for just a second, but he's had a couple of crucial blocks. That one there, indeed, yet another good one. Pitch play. Wade will block again, and it's Vandelay for a gain of 5 on the pitch.
Yeah, so far, Ron is taking this series off because he's just handing the ball off and picking up yards.
Now from the 30-yard line. Komisak checks back into the ball game. He'll run with Komisak left side. Bullies his way forward. They'll mark him just a yard shy after the Chris Henry tackle.
Nathan Barnett was on the wrong side of the highlight reel, Tyler.
Right now he needs to be on the right side of him because Florida are just an inch away from converting on another 3rd down in this second half. And off middle, nothing doing.
They gave him the first.
They'll give it to him. There was a whole dog pile of bodies, and they'll say he got just enough. And there is our challenge. Thrown by the Atlanta coaching staff, that being head coach Chris Porter. And so we will take a retroactive look at the play presented by Retroid. Get your SFL console at GoRetroid.com. We go under the hood.
I thought he was short, Tyler. Right before the snap of this ball, Atlanta was showing as if they was expecting them to run to the outside. But just for the snap, they brought a linebacker back inside, pinched down inside, and that looks short to me. But we'll see what they say.
Joseph Wade, who's been so good at blocking, maybe just gets in the way of a potential first down.
Oh!
And it is overturned. It will be 4th and short. A great stand from this Atlanta front 7.
And Ron Haynes is not happy with that call, Tyler.
Now let's see what they got to do. Here, they'll attempt a 42-yard attempt. Snap spot. Snead's been perfect today, and he continues to be perfect today. 16-13, now your score. Here from the eye, and this defense here, Eddie, for Atlanta is keeping them in this game. But if they keep allowing field goals and the offense does nothing, you're on the outside looking in more than likely for these playoffs.
And it would only get worse because Florida is starting to establish a running game, and it's only going to make this defensive line for Atlanta start to get fatigued.
So here comes the return from Highwind, who tries to spin through defenders. And wrapped up at the 22. Unfortunately for Fox, I mean, that's really all he's been able to do here tonight. He's been held catchless.
This is only the 5th play of the second half for Atlanta. They got to try to find a way to stem some drives together.
Rewired here for Bryant Dynasty. Chisholm the man in motion. He's been relatively quiet today. Only 2 receptions. As Dynasty look middle, looking for the aforementioned Chisholm, but the defense was in picture-perfect coverage.
Daniel Wright, former Minnesota legend, came over here in his first season, picked up a championship ring. Here in his second, showing why they brought him here, because I thought that one was picked off.
Very acrobatic. Climbing the ladder, but couldn't haul in the football as it's second down, and Atlanta, knowing the pressure, will go back to the air. Pass underneath Chisholm. We'll get to drag back a yard, and it's a loss of 1 and brings up 3rd and long.
It's very difficult for the secondary to hold these these receivers in check for so long. That time he had about 4.5 seconds, and they can still know who can pop open. That's great.
Blitz coming, and down again. 4th and a half sack for Deontay Stoneville. Andresando Tamayello comes away with the other half.
Yeah, and this game at this conclusion just may wrap up a all-star game appearance for some of these defensive linemen for Florida, because they're just racking up the totals right now.
Stoneville now with 9.5 sacks in this season. He's nearly doubled his total sack total in just the final game of the regular season. That's incredible.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get up and started doing a little Hawaiian dance, because I think he knows where he's headed at the conclusion of this regular season.
Playoff Island. 2-17. Playoff Island.
All-Star Game Island.
Something like that. Maybe future calling, maybe Hall of Fame Island. Or is that a mansion? Eddie, you can tell us. Is it a mansion or is it an island out there?
It's an island. You deserve it.
Okay. Vandalay with the give here, and wow, just continues to keep those legs churning. 12 yards.
Ron Cochran putting his individual awards and accomplishments to the side. He realizes that Florida's starting to establish a running game. He just continues to hand the ball off, whether it be Chris Carmasack, Bullet Bolesky, or even in this case, his wide receiver, and they are just piling on the punishment right now to this defense.
8 carries, we'll say 7 carries for a little under 50 yards. Right over 50 yards, my apologies. Handoff here for Letsky out of 1, and then is hung up after only gaining a couple.
He only gained a couple, but that's a win for the offense, because that should have been a 2-yard loss. He turned it into a 2-yard gain, 2nd and 8.
Now what they can dial up here on just under a minute and a half to go. Under 12 minutes from Florida clinching a first-round bye. Handoff. Here's a good little spin move for extra yardage from Kaysen, the backup tailback.
Yeah, just when you forget about everybody else, Kaysen comes in, reminds you he's a member of this team as well.
3rd and 2. Another heavy look from Florida's offense. Defensive line for Atlanta spread.
A-gap.
Looking, Carmasack breaks one, looking for more yards, and he gets inside the 20-yard line to move the chains and keep the drive alive.
Look at Chris Carmasack. He's running at you full speed, and you're responsible for tackling this young man. That takes will and determination, because if you don't tackle him, you're going to get cut, but wow, you're going to wake up paying for it.
I formation again. First down just inside the 20-yard line. Vandalay with the give. He'll gain this time. No gain this time here for Vandalay. Good tackle by Barnett on his 8th carry.
Aquana Shine slowed him down, and his teammate cleaned him up. Flip, tight, triple.
Blitz coming from Atlanta. Green. Flip out for Boletsky. Gets around it. Cuts upfield. Inside the 5. 1st and goal. Florida Storm.
That's about the 2nd or 3rd time we've seen Florida dial up the screen, and Atlanta had it played great. Had a man right over there ready to blow the play up, but those guards got out there in a hurry and didn't allow the play to happen.
And that'll bring us to the end of quarter number 3. 1 quarter left to go in this regular season for Atlanta. Can they hold? Can they come back and officially clinch a postseason berth? We'll find out here with 10 minutes to go. You're watching SFL. 1st and goal from the 5 here as we come out of the quarter break. Tyler Falk and Eddie Gage here on the call. As Florida looked to punch it in, it's Kamasak all alone. Touchdown, Florida Storm. They take a multi-possession lead now.
Yeah, the defense has grown tired, and they aren't getting much help from their offense. The offenses just have not been on the field long enough for the defense to go on the sidelines and recover, and those defensive linemen just have no push left them at this point.
And so Kamasak runs it in with great blocking, picking up another touchdown here for the Storm this season. That's his 6th rushing touchdown of the game. And for those that, were more expecting maybe Bullet Boletsky to be more dynamic, and while he's gotten, he's done okay this season, Chris Kamasak, the fullback, leads the team in both yards and touchdowns.
Yes, I mean, anytime they can get a lead, they're allowed to play at their own pace. And Ron doesn't like to take too many chances downfield with a vertical passing game. So anytime you get a running game going along with that short passing game, it just plays right into what they like to do best. Look out.
Getting out of a tackle and looking for more was Muhammad. He runs up to the 30-yard line. Atlanta have it all to do, Eddie. Down by 20 in the final quarter. We have seen a lot of comebacks over the years. This season, in fact. We just saw a good game in Minnesota and Chicago. This game is not over yet, but it has to start here for Atlanta.
It has to start here. It has to start now. They have to find a way to sustain drives, keep that defense on the field, on the sideline, so they can recover. Bringing the blitz.
Even this drive can be a long one. Even this drive, you can continue to run your offense, but you have to score here as Hollywood rolls over Tamiello for a 1-yard pickup.
1-yard pickup, and I don't necessarily blame him for running the ball because they have to keep this defensive line from putting their ears back and just headed towards Dynasty. They got to keep them guessing.
See there, no first downs for this Atlanta offense in the half as Dynasty looks to change that with a deep shot. Caught, running downfield is Arlette. Mr. Moneyman, 2 catches, 2 big gains.
When in doubt, find your tight end. Boo's been getting a lot of looks today on defense, along with Fox Highwind, who they both are first and second on the team in catches. So why not look for your tight end? Like what I did there. Why not look for him?
I do. Why not look for? Why not throw it to the tight end? Let's make an addendum to the Mike Daggs throw it to the tight end. Why not? 4-man rush. Dynasty left side open.
Oh, he dropped it.
Highwind. He was so open he could have ordered a pizza and he couldn't haul it in.
You know, he's been blanketed so much by 2 and 3 defenders. Perhaps he was just so surprised. Man, that's a catch he just got to make.
Could have ordered a pizza, ate the pizza without even being touched. And it's 2nd down. Pass middle, caught Falco, shows Highwind how it's done, and gets inside the Florida 30.
It's a good thing he was open because Bryant had all kind of heat surrounding him. Florida was coming with another blitz.
They don't get the easy ones, do Atlanta sometimes, eh, partner? They gotta find a way to float in a pass.
Yeah.
3 wide. Here for the Swarm as Dynasty looks underneath. Caught. There's Highwind's first catch of the game. It goes for 3 yards.
Yeah. Should be a second, but you gotta forget about what happened in the past and move on.
It's not been a pretty good day for Dynasty. 9 of 24, pass near side. Falco again. They're catching Florida's defense off guard with these quick fades.
Got to 3-step drop, grip it and rip it, because Florida has been getting pressure on Bryant all afternoon long, which I'm kind of surprised about, honestly, because I believe he's 3rd in the SFL in completion percentage, but they've held him in check today.
Wide now. Here's the Florida Storm defense. The flat 5 at the 2nd level. They'll try and run here with Hollywood. 134. Bams into another 34, and the defensive 34 wins out this time.
2nd and 9 in Atlanta. These past several plays has been going not hurry up offense, but been playing a bit more up tempo, and I like it.
3 wide. Here for Dynasty. This time he sends Falco to the left. And right follows him over in coverage. Blitz coming. Dynasty underneath, in and out of the fingertips of Highwind. Davidson there in coverage. 3rd and 9.
Was that Fox Highwind? It was. My goodness, he's just having a day to remember, to forget, I should say.
I'd say if he's going to remember, he might need a device to wipe his memories of this game, especially if these drops lead to Atlanta missing the playoffs with a loss. Another blitz, down goes Bryant Dynasty by someone other than Stoneville. It's Ryan Tobin.
Bryant didn't even have a chance to even see if his first target was open. I mean, the first read, he didn't have a chance because they were on him from the moment the H and height came out of his mouth. And at this point, it's almost unfair.
6th sack of the game for this Storm defense. And Atlanta is going to try for 3. Snap spot kick is up. And it's progress, Eddie. It is progress.
High snap, and for a moment there, I thought that might have affected the field goal attempt by Sammy Steele, but he has nerves of steel and is able to boot that one right through.
Now here's the big decision time. Here for Atlanta, do you trust your defense? Come up with a stop, or do you try and come away with an onside kick? It looks like Atlanta is going to try and kick it deep. Indeed they do.
Wow, look at that kick.
Nice kick. No return possible from Tarantino. And so here comes the Florida offense. They've got 6 minutes and 31 seconds to go.
Right now, they just want to bleed this clock and hand it off as much as possible.
Salt it away. Don't give Atlanta any more hope. Atlanta's defense needs to come through here in the clutch. This potentially save their postseason hopes. Flip out near side. Boletsky with great blocking. Down the field he goes. Around the Qantas Shine and down to near the 43-yard line.
Atlanta brings the blitz, and Ron Cochran just as cool as the other side of the pillow, Tyler, just dumps it off to his tailback about a yard downfield, but picks up a 1st down. I mean, that's almost cheating at this point.
Got some great blocking there as well on that screenplay. Randy Fatt the 3rd out there. Ron Haynes out there on the outside with a block. Really good full team effort from this Florida Storm here today. Cochran, blitz coming. Rolling, running, and taking off with it. Oh, they send the blitz through the middle of the outside, but they leave him free. A gain of 9 for Ron Cochran. One of his best rushing performances of the season.
One of his best, but get out of bounds, young man, so you won't have to take that much punishment.
A gain of 9, setting up 2nd and 1 as the clock rolls under 5.5 to play. Corner on tight end. That is a size mismatch if I ever saw one. And up the middle goes Comisac, but he can only get maybe a half yard at best. Yeah. 3rd down upcoming.
Atlanta's got to have it.
Florida on 3rd downs here in the 2nd half. They're 1 of 3. Have not had to go to a 3rd down play in this 4th quarter. Pitch play. Oh. Comisac finding a way through the line, and he will pick up a Florida 1st down.
One thing about lining up Chris Comisac at the halfback spot is gives him that much more space between him and the first would-be tackler to get some momentum going. It just makes it harder to bring the man down.
10 defenders lining up within the first 4 yards of the line of scrimmage. They sense a run. Comisac dots the I in the backfield. Clock winding down, the life potentially out of Florida's or Atlanta's playoff hopes potentially down. Now, Eddie, Atlanta will not be eliminated officially with a loss, but it could very well be they could be eliminated.
They're going to need some help, Tyler.
The way it works, if Atlanta do fail to come away with this win, there are a couple scenarios in which Atlanta can still be in the postseason. They would need a Indianapolis and Nashville win, or they could also get in with a Carolina, Mexico City win. But that has to happen, or the inverse has to happen, if Atlanta wants to make the postseason with a loss.
Correct. 3 minutes and change left in this game, Tyler. They got to make something happen. They got to get that defense off the field.
They got to make a stop here. They're down by 17. They're going to need every second possible. A conversion here might just spell doom for Atlanta. It might seal their fate. 9 yards for Florida to go from the 41-yard line. It will be a run for Beletsky. Cuts it back inside, and Chris Henry brings him down just inside the 35-yard line. And here comes Marcus Agrippa. It will be a punt. The Atlanta defense holds.
Marcus Agrippa getting paid $2.6 million. And today and throughout this season, we've seen why they pay him so much, because he's been getting some coffin corner kicks out. And to seal this game, let's see if he can deliver another one. He's going to get kicked prior to the 2-minute warning.
If he does it right, it could kick under 2 minutes. On his away, and it will tick under 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Ball will fall into the end zone, down for a touchback.
Look at that effort. My goodness.
Trying to keep it alive as we hit the 2-minute warning. Florida just under 2 minutes for first round bye. Tyler Falk and Eddie Gage here with you from the broadcast booth here in the I in Fort Lauderdale, as we welcome you back here for the final week of the regular season, final SFL regular season Sunday of year 2024. Pass middle, caught by Fox Highland just when they need him. A gain of 12 to begin the drive.
Nice pickup, but right now Florida be wise to just play perhaps a man defense, keep 2 safeties over the top to keep everything in front of them.
Four wide receivers here for Dynasty. Man, needs something to go their way. Blitz coming. He lost the football, and one of the linemen picks it up. Oh, great pressure from off the edge from Tamayello. Gets a strip sack.
Looks like Atlanta called a timeout. I didn't see them whistle for it, but the clock has stopped.
Take a look again. Tamayello comes off the edge. The 2 defensive ends, Tamayello and Stoneville, have been giving Bryant Dynasty nightmares in that pocket.
Now the clock is going again.
Green play near side. BDG ushered out of bounds. It stops the clock. And it'll be 3rd and 17.
It stops the clock, but Florida defense take that all day long. You're going to throw the ball a yard downfield. We'll take that every time.
Season on the line here for Dynasty. 4-man rush. Dynasty looking middle, over the head, and hands a Falco. 4th and potentially season.
It all comes down to this play. Listen to this crowd.
The eye getting loud. One more time. They want home playoff football. Dynasty to throw. Dumps it off to BDG. Has to make it up. Can't do it. Andrew Francis with the tackle. And that should do it. Florida will clinch a first-round bye.
Atlanta still has 2 timeouts remaining, Tyler, but I don't think it's going to be enough Florida looking to secure this win and secure a first-round bye in the playoffs.
And even just a few yards puts them in field goal range, but it shouldn't matter. They are already up by 17. They do not need the points, nor the R's. They just want to bask in their East Division championship as Kamisak gets on the ground toward the near side, looking for the corner, and he's tackled down at the 4-yard line. Second timeout called by Atlanta. Kamisak wanted to just rub some salt into the wound.
And smartly stayed in bounds to make sure that Atlanta burned the timeout.
Back to the line they come, out in victory formation.
Yep.
The season 23 SFL champion Florida Storm will finish the season 9-3 and will clinch either the 3 seed or the 4 seed, depending on how results later tonight and on Monday go. And is it for Atlanta? Is it over? You'll have to find out here tonight and tomorrow. If results go their way, they could still make the postseason, but they're now up the creek without a paddle. They have no control of their destiny, and they're hoping for a miracle. Eddie, it's been a fun season 23 and a great 2024. We've had a lot of fun this year, and we're just excited for the postseason and finding out who takes home the championship.
A lot of football left to be played this weekend, Tyler, but yeah, it's been a great week 15, absolutely.
Kenny Yuki with a $2 super chat. We are in. Thank you, Florida. That also means that Lexington has made the postseason with an Atlanta loss here today. Congratulations to the Lexington Miners in their first season in Tennessee.
Yeah.
They get to celebrate on postseason island, partner.
That's one thing I was thinking about because, you know, they missed the playoffs going 7-5 a few seasons back, and it would have been really horrible for them to miss the playoffs going 7-5 and missing out yet again.
Final seconds ticking away here from Florida. The final score, 23-6 over the Kentucky, my apologies. 23-6, the Storm over the Swarm. East Division champs looking to go into the postseason red hot. Eddie, what a great game. What a great season for Florida.
Great game, great season indeed for Florida, but it continues on into the playoffs. Ryan Dynasty came into this game third in the SFL and QBR at just about 88. Florida, I was curious to see how they try to slow him down, and slow him down indeed. Today he was held in check. 2 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 32.2. The secondary for Florida won them this ball game.
It was complete domination from the defense. If I had a game ball, Eddie, I think everyone in the stands and the coaching staff would be giving it to Deontay Stoneville. 4.5 sacks here today.
He was a man amongst men, Tyler, and wow, he played like it. I mean, again, we talked about it. Coming to this game, he's pretty much doubled up his sack total, and he's going to be headed to the All-Star game, and it's probably because of this game they got him in.
For Ron Haynes and for Jacob Clarence Stats and for Cameron Irvine at SFL headquarters, I've been Tyler Falk. Thank you for joining us all season long. We'll see you later tonight for more football and on the Monday Night Spectacular for the conclusion of this regular season and the postseason. Until then, good morning, good afternoon, and good night.
SFL Nation, I love y'all. We out of here, y'all.